So, hey everyone. Hey Reckless Blue, how are you? How are you doing? I hope you're doing awesome. Hey UFO. Oh, I'm far from that, my dear. Um, I don't know because the emotes thing, I gotta get a hang on it because I really honestly don't know. I'd probably go with like a little honeybee or something like that. That's what I was thinking, like honeycombs, honeybees, because honey lily is like honey and flowers. And how are you, Recluse Blue? Are you good? How's your day going so far? And how about you, UFO? How are you doing? That is great. I'm very excited to continue this game today. So, happy Sunday. Reckless Blue, in case you didn't know, well, you probably didn't know this, but UFO 1000 is my teen boy, so he's one of my mods. Aw, it's your mama's birthday. Aw, I hope you guys have an amazing day and that you guys enjoy it to the max. Yes, thank you so much. Happy Sunday to you too. So, I don't know if you're aware or if you know of Vampire the Masquerade. Have you ever heard of it? Yes, UFO had his exam, his first golden bar exam on his black belt yesterday, so he is in pain everywhere. Yeah, your first Dan. I'm a proud mama. 100% proud of my boy. So we're basically continuing. It's called Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries of New York, and so far in the game, if I'm going to resume basically a bit of everything, we were sired by, well, illegally, according to the Masquerade rules, where VTM was never able to play through. Yeah, so it's a little long. It's, you know, it is what it is. I do appreciate, the storyline so far. So, yes, it went well. He got it. He aced it. So, yeah. But yeah, so far we've been sired against the prince's wish by we don't know who. And we're learning to be of the clan Bruja, so that's basically a clan that is doesn't like to follow rules, kind of aggressive. They don't like to follow necessarily authority. So we like being assholes, basically. It's the best way to put it. And so we're trying to make our own clan group of people, so we're talking around to try to make frenemies, because obviously you never trust really, and there's situations that are happening that are pretty interesting. Sophie is the one that took us under her wing because we were supposed to get beheaded, so executed, because we were sired without the permission of the prince. And so she took us under her wing, but we're basically her slave, which we don't like our position. But we're trying to change that, I guess, in a way, and trying to make the best of a bad situation. So that's basically what's going on here. Sophie is a bird. Why do you say that, UFO? I can tell you though what I did even to Honey Lily recklessly. Yeah, go ahead and say beheaded, executed. Count me in. Exactly. Yes, I agree. She took us under her wing, but I mean, it's like it's not the best. Um, anyways, it is what it is. So let's do this. Let's continue. So she is a bird, not a bat. That's cute. That's very cute what you just said, UFO. I like that. Okay, so the we're like in the second part of, actually would be the third part, I believe, like of Agathon. Uh, third part of Hope, which is Malkavian. I love that kind of clan. The only one that we haven't done so far is the Gangrel, so Tam. So we're gonna go here. So it says, upon returning to your haven, you find a small scrap of paper lying on your windowsill. Need a favor? If you're still up for it, come meet me in Prospect Tam. So this is one of our allies that we are hoping to get. So let's see what this is about. Once again, you cross the gate of Prospect Park and head straight for where you last saw the feral duo. Minutes pass. Finding no sign of Tamika, you begin to worry that something might have happened to her. Suddenly you hear rustling coming from the nearby bushes, and it's not the stray cat kind of rustling either. So we have three choices here, guys. Whoever's hiding in those bushes is what we would say choice number one. You know I can hear you, right? And Tamika. In my opinion, I would go with definitely like, you know I can hear you, right? Because I'm like not dumb. So I'm going to say like, hey, and I'm a bit confronting being a Bruja, so that would be definitely my choice. UFO agrees. What about you, Reckless Blue? You want to pitch in on this? You don't have to. Just if you want to, it's awesome too. If you just want to kind of let us choose and lay back and just listen to the story, no problem there either. Yes, I am a vampire, indeed. Okay, let's go with number two. So you know I can hear you, right? Hey, you in the bushes. You know I can hear you, right? Choice two for Shizzle, that's great. The wrestling stops, if only for a second. Suddenly, the bushes part and Raoul walks out, desperately trying to look confident. So this is our second run-in with Raoul. The first one didn't go as well as he would have liked, but we loved that interaction. He basically tried to confront us and we were not having it, and basically told him to, you know, go cry behind his alpha, which is Tam, the one that we're trying to see, and he wasn't very impressed, but she liked us. She liked our attitude, so that's where we're at. Yeah, that's only because I wanted you to, he says. Listen, I wanted to have a word before Tam gets here. She seems to like you for whatever strange reason, but the way I see it, you're a nuisance at best. At worst, you're a threat. So we have three choices. You don't like me, got it. You'll warm up to me, or is there a point to this speech? I would definitely go with number three because I'm annoyed with him and I don't care what he thinks of me. What do you think, UFO? And keep in mind, Brujas are definite, like, you don't like me, got it? Yeah, it could also be straight to the point. But I like the third one. Yeah, exactly. He can kill you because he's a vampire. No, we got the upper hand on this guy, trust me. Excuse me, is there a point you're trying to get to? The point is, Tamika is my sister. In every sense of the word, that counts. Anything happens to her that I find even remotely your fault, I'm coming after you. Is that clear? I like this. Crystal, now fuck off. I mean, I can respect that the guy wants to take care of his sister, right? Because it's family, so I respect that. I don't like him though, so I mean, I just see the one and that's definite for me. I'm not your enemy and she doesn't need a babysitter. That one could be good, but it's kind of like dismissing her a bit, so yeah, I kind of feel like I want him to know that I respect the fact that he has a sister. So I would definitely go with 1 because I just want to tell him to fuck off. So let's do that. Crystal, now get the fuck out of my face. Yeah. Just want to make sure we understand each other. Dude, you're repeating yourself. What I'm saying is, if anything happens to Tamika, I'm holding you accountable. Are you that thick that you have to repeat it a second time? All of a sudden, the sound of footsteps reaches your ears. It's just faint enough to be ostentatious, but it's loud enough to hear. You can tell that whoever is approaching wants to make their presence known. Both you and Rule turn just in time to see Tamika emerge from behind an old sycamore tree. It's hard to tell just how long she's been listening in on your conversation. In any case, she walks up and speaks, addressing no one in particular. Did I miss anything? Your brother's worried about you is choice number 1. Your brother's being an asshole, choice number 2, and nothing important. You guys know my vote, right? UFO's like choice number 2 for sure. I like to, because, you know, I just do. So your brother's being an asshole. Let's do that. Not much. Just your brother being a giant asshole. So what else is new, she says. That is so funny. Raul gives Tamika the kind of indecipherable look that only happens between siblings. You honestly can't tell if they're about to hug or start clawing each other's eyes out. I'm going. Try to not get killed because of this dipshit. I'll do my best. And with that, Raul takes his leave. Tamika waits in silence just long enough to make sure he can no longer hear her and addresses you. I have a favor to ask. For you, anything? What is it? Or I like my favors return. I haven't won her over yet, so if I say this, I might be a little demanding. I want her as an ally, so... But I don't want to be so devoted that I'd be like, for you, anything. I definitely go more straight to the point. What is it? Do you guys agree? I'm curious to know what she wants. So she's saying that she thinks you're gonna KIA her? Oh, kill in action. No, I don't think so. Yeah, let's go with 2. Okay, what is it? I have an errand to run. I was hoping you'd come with me. There's a place east of here. It's a short walk. We should be back in about 2, maybe 3 hours. Wait, we're walking? 3 hours? Call that short? I just go definitely with the other one. 3 hours, you call that short? 3 hours. You call that a short walk? Sorry, I'm used to much longer distances than that. I forgot not everyone is. You think you can handle it? What's this about? Should I expect trouble or sure, let's go? Straight to the point. Let's go. Sure, we can go now if you're ready. Well, all right. And so you head towards the parking lot accompanied by Tamika and a lot of unanswered questions. No, we don't transform into bats in this one, UFO. Following Tamika's direction, you finally arrive at the Evergreen Cemetery, one of the oldest burying grounds in Brooklyn. You enter through the southwestern gate and follow your companion through the sea of tombstones. It's a nice enough place as far as graveyards go, much less homogenized than the usual flat field littered with identical markers. Tamika confidently presses on, swerving and weaving along a pre-programmed path. It's clear that she's been here for more than a few times. Finally, she makes a sharp left and takes a few more steps down a gravel walkway, coming to a sudden stop in front of a modest headstone. The inscriptions read, Luca Santiago, beloved sister and daughter, born 1991, taken from us too soon. Aww. Aw, that gets me. With her eyes fixed on the gravesite, she lets out an absent-minded utterance. I need a moment alone. Not long, 5 minutes at most. You look around in search of a good spot to wait for her and pass the time. At the far end of the nearby lawn, you notice a lone bench situated under a weeping willow. I love weeping willows. They are so beautiful. Suddenly you hear voices, distant but slowly approaching. Judging by the tone and timbre, you're guessing it's a couple of teenagers out to get their late night kicks among the dearly departed. That sounds to me like a feeding opportunity. And with the black growing around the screen, my guess is we have to feed. There, see, I called it. Might be a good chance to feed. Then again, you could just pass the time walking around the area. It's actually quite nice in a dark and somber kind of way. Late night kicks. Exactly. I'll wait on that bench by the tree. I'll take a walk. Don't take too long. Or feeding opportunity, teenagers. I'm definitely going for the feeding opportunity. Take your time. I think I'll go grab myself a drink. Just do it quietly. I don't want any trouble. Not here. You leave Tamika alone and follow the voices. Soon enough, you come upon a couple in their late teens. Judging by the thick eyeliner and their clothes consisting mostly of black leather and lace, you'd venture a guess that they'd love nothing more than to meet an actual vampire. You're happy to oblige. As you emerge of the shadows, you can feel your all intensify. The boy and the girl watch you, completely awestruck, waiting for you to approach. The slightest gesture is enough to shoo the boy away. He sits on a nearby bench and watches, completely enamored, as your lips press against the girl's neck. It's a weird sensation to feel actual, honest-to-God pride in a victim's blood, but here you are. She's glad to have been chosen in this way. You decide there's no good reason to discriminate, and also to take a sip from the guy. His BO is pretty terrible, but the taste of his blood isn't half bad. Hoping the teens' post-kiss days will make your face just an impression in their memory, you leave them on the bench just as they let their excitement hormones run wild and start making out furiously. You half expect Kadzia to materialize, sword in hand, to deal with these loose ends, or with you for leaving them to roam like you did. You'll never be more careful in the future. You'll need to be more careful in the future. Come on, man, shower's freaking... Yes, I agree. Gotta smell good, you know? Finally, you get back to the tree and find Tamika sitting on the bench. Without a word, you sit next to her. You look over to her, doing your best not to stare. She looks down, crossing her arms and putting her hands on her shoulders. In an instant, the ferocious savage disappears, replaced by a vulnerable young woman. I think I'm done. You okay? Who was she? Or you feel like sharing? I'd go more straight to the point again. Who was she? Not supposed to be mushy if I'm kind of like sensitive in real life, but we are a Bruja, so let's go with who was she? Luca, so who was she? A sister and a friend. Sorry I'm being monosyllabic again, aren't I? Oh yeah, you're right. You know what? One is less confrontational, you're right. It's a little more sensitive without being too much. Sorry, I went too fast there. Sorry I'm being monosyllabic again, aren't I? She looks away. You can tell she's struggling to open up to you, so you remain silent, trying not to make her uncomfortable. I was embraced not far from here, in this cemetery, a fitting spot, I suppose. So embraced means when a vampire turns you into one. It was close to a decade ago. I'd been on the road for a couple of years at that point, hitchhiking from one town to another. New York was supposed to be just another stop. And then I met Jezebel. She was strong, smart, independent, seemed like someone I could trust, someone I could get close to. She never made me feel inadequate or ashamed, and she could hold her own in a fist fight, too. Funny thing, though, she only wanted to meet during nighttime. Going to lurk mode? Yeah, no problem. Drive safely, 100%. I didn't think much of it, even came up with excuses for her. Busy, eccentric, whatever worked. Until one night, she sank her teeth into my neck. At least you knew your sire. Is she still around? Or she sounds like quite a gal. I don't want her to know that I don't know my sire. Is she still around? If she's not around, that's just kind of... She's in a sensitive... I don't know. She sounds like quite a gal would be my choice. A fighter, a lover, an unread abomination. She sounds like quite a gal. She was. I honestly learned about her after she was gone. She was the real deal. An old school gangrel, a veteran of the Battle of New York. She looks away and grows reticent for a brief moment. Anyway, she left soon after turning me. I think the conclave of Prague really shook her up. You have a choice between she left you alone, doesn't justify leaving you, or a conclave of Prague. So we don't really know what the conclave of Prague is, so we're gonna ask. Wait, the conclave of what now? Prague. It's a city in Central Europe. It was supposed to be neutral ground, a good place to discuss politics and strategy. It ended up almost turning into a civil war. That's pretty intense. Next thing you know, the anarchs were expunged from the Camarilla. All they had done for our kind, the blood they spilled, it didn't amount to a thing. I can't blame Jezebel for feeling betrayed, but yeah, even though I still had Raoul and Luca, I was still furious and terrified. Luca died a few years later. Operation Lights Out, they called it. It was a coordinated assault by the Second Inquisition, a genocide, by any other name. Our family got together, bought up a plot, and buried an empty casket. I guess they wanted some closure. Can't fault them for that. Even though she's not really here, I like to come and visit from time to time. It reminds me of who I am, keeps me in check, keeps the beast at bay. Also, this being the place of my embrace, you have to appreciate the level of irony. She straightens up and looks at you as if something just occurred to her. Sorry, I don't know what came over me. One minute I'm all grunts and stares, the next I'm giving you my biography. I guess I'm just tired of being scared. Alone. You don't have to be alone, or you're looking for a place to belong. I like her. I want to say you don't have to be alone. You don't have to be alone. I used to think so, but those were simpler times. At this point, I'm just looking for someone to believe in, someone I could give a damn about. Ooh, you have me, one of the choices. The Camarilla has its merits. I'm not going to sell off the Camarilla, I don't trust them. The Anarchs cherish freedom. I'm not sure about that either. And you have Raoul. It's his brother. Yeah, this time would be a good time to say you have me. I like her. I'll say you have me. You got me, for whatever it's worth. She looks at you. Her mouth drops open, ever so slightly. You can tell she wasn't expecting that. Yeah, I do. Don't I? You open your mouth, but before you can make a sound, Tamika's motions at you to keep quiet. She lifts her head and sniffs in the air. Her ears perk up and her eyes widen. Suddenly, she pushes you with all of her strength, sending you flying off the bench. Before you even hit the ground, an immense shape flies into view and smashes down into the bench, splintering it into pieces. With the blood surging through your veins, you pounce onto your feet. You look at the mass of fur and muscles that just nearly pulverized you. The creature rears its head, gives you a deranged stare. It then turns to Tamika. She seems utterly terrified, frozen in place, as if she literally just saw a ghost. You notice the creature shifts its weight, as if preparing to pounce. So we get the creature's attention, yell to warn Tamika, or Potence attack the creature. I am attacking, 100%. Feeling as if your muscles have turned to steel, you ram the creature before it can throw itself to Tamika. The beast flies through the air and smashes its back against a tree. In a matter of seconds, however, it gets back to its feet. Your attack might have surprised it, but it clearly didn't do any real damage. The creature then turns towards you for a second or two. It moves its mouth awkwardly, as if trying to remember how to form words. Are we about to die, guys? I don't know, but I ain't gonna let anyone treat anyone like that. Stay out my ground. The creature runs off towards a nearby clearing when all of a sudden a gunshot sends it tumbling onto the ground. A group of well-armed men in body armor emerge from the shadows in an orderly formation and move in closer around the creature. Walk out to meet them, stand and fight, or retreat and hide. I am not one to retreat and hide, so I'm definitely stand and fight. With your ego sufficiently wounded, you decided to stand your ground. It's one thing to get messed up by some supernatural monstrosity, but these look like ordinary mortals. Still, whoever they are, they seem to know what they're doing. You wipe the blood off your nose and steel yourself for what's to come. All of a sudden, Tamika grabs you by the arm. No, there's too many of them. Come on. Deferring to her judgment, you promptly follow her behind a nearby bush. Luckily, the men don't appear to have spotted you. From the relative safety of the thick foliage, you watch in silence as the group of armed men subdue the creature using steel nets and cattle prods. In the corner of your eye, you catch Tamika looking away, as if she finds this whole spectacle somehow distasteful. She speaks under her breath, her voice shaking. Can we get out of here? You see no reason to object. The walk back turns out to be a quiet and somber experience. You both walk in silence, the city a blur of lights and cars careening by. You look over to Tamika. She seems lost in her thoughts. Finally, you decide to break the silence. What was that thing back there? Any idea who those guys were, or are you gonna be alright? Let's go with number 2. Any idea who those guys were? Do you have any idea who these guys were? They looked like they knew what they were doing. They did. They spent their whole lives either training or hunting our kind. They're the Second Inquisition. It's been a while since I saw them operating in New York. I would never expect them to go after the scared one. Hell, until today, I wasn't even sure he existed. What is he? The boogeyman? The scarred one? I'd go with number 2. What would you say, UFO? I'm kind of like in the middle of the excitement of really wanting to like do my choices and at the same time, you know. What is he, the boogeyman? Yeah, let's do that one. You make it seem like he's some sort of boogeyman. He kind of is. He's a cautionary tale of young gangrel. He's what happens when you let the beast take over. I always figured him to be more of a metaphor. Seeing him in real life, it's like if a Christian just happened to run onto Judas Iscariot one day. I see him hunted down by the SI. I don't know what to think. I don't even know where to start thinking. Deciding to give her some space, you spend the rest of the walk in silence. Soon enough, the familiar tree line of Prospect Parks comes into view. You stop by the entrance nearest to Tamika's haven. She keeps walking, without so much as a word or glance in your direction. She stops after several paces and turns back towards you. I'm sorry, thank you for coming with me, but now I have a lot of shit to figure out. Once I do, I'll let you know. And with that, she disappears among the trees. Seeing no point in sticking around, you take your leave. So we have to go rest now, because it's night. And as you guys know, we cannot survive with the sun. You arrive at the Leech Pit, finding it less rowdy than the last time. The bar is still packed, but the dance floor is empty tonight. Instead, the old, crackling speakers are playing music that would probably sound like noise, even on high-end hardware. So he takes boogers and throws them. That's such a teen thing to say, UFO. Mia is nowhere to be seen, but you do remember she requested that you ask for her at the bar. You know the face behind the bar. The woman doesn't seem to recognize you, though. You imagine you were just another patron in a sea of strangers the other night. What can I get you? Is Mia around? I was told to ask about Mia, or did anyone leave me a message for me? Let's go with that. Number 3. I was told that someone might have left a message for me at the bar. Ring a bell? Maybe. She looks up and down, and sparks of recollection shine in her eyes. Oh yeah, that's right. She takes a well-worn book from behind the counter. Some kind of YA vampire novel? And flips through it. She produces a piece of paper from between the book's pages and passes it to you. She told me you'd be interested in reading this. You find a relatively quiet corner and take a look at the note. T wants to meet you. I'll arrange it, but you need to prove you're trustworthy. Look around the Leech Pit for a guy named Bruce. Buff dude. Tattoo sleeve on his right arm. I'm 90% sure he's somebody's retainer, sent here to spy on us by the camp. Get me the name of his master and write it on his card. Then return it to the bar. It doesn't take you too long to locate this Bruce guy. He sits alone in a corner, 2 beer glasses already empty on his table. You take a moment to consider your approach. So we have multiple choices here. Get him drunk and talkative. Ask for his master's name up front. Feeding opportunity, bar patron, or presence. Strike up a conversation. I want to get results because I need to meet T, so I'm going to go with the 4th one. The man immediately notices you, but doesn't move from his spot. The other seats are empty. When you focus the blood to boost your attractiveness, it's not just Bruce who notices. He's into you, so are other people, doing double takes as they pass your table. Hey, you. Have I seen you here before? Yeah, probably. It's possible I'm a regular, or it's my first night here. I'll just say it's my first night here. I don't think so. It's my first night here. Hey, I'm lucky. I'm here tonight then. Intimidate him to give you the name. Ask him about the name directly, or ask him about the name nicely. Hey, Kiki! How are you? Oh, I'm so happy you're here. Yeah, you want to play the seductive game, eh? How are you today, Gigi? Just woke up, you? I'm doing good. I was working on my project phase 2 yesterday. I hurt my back. So I'm kind of like not moving too much today. So that's what's happening. Yeah. I'm hoping it's just a pulled muscle. But it kind of spasms every once in a while, so I'll just be like up and walking and all of a sudden it kind of spasms, so it's just annoying mostly. But I mean, I'm not worried about it. It's just because I bent over too much. You know, like when they say bend your knees and don't bend it over? Well, I bent over instead of bending my knees, and well, that'll teach me, right? I'm eating Doritos for breakfast. Don't tell my mom. You know what? I've done that a few times. Maybe not Doritos. Have I? Maybe. I sometimes have a bowl of chips for lunch. It's not good. I know it's not good. But sometimes the craving is there. You have to give in to the craving, you know? Right? So yeah. My boy, he really likes Doritos. I like it too. Like the best chips. And yes. And cookies, to be fair, for sure. Okay, let's ask about the name nicely. It's a balanced breakfast. Yes. I mean, have you ever done that where you have like dinner for breakfast and breakfast for dinner? Like a bowl of cereal or eggs and bacon, stuff like that for dinner. I do that sometimes. It's good. I mean, right? So we're going to ask him nicely. I know you're here because somebody asked you to spy on this place. It'd make me really happy if you gave me their name. What? Do you mean Sam? He catches himself, realizes what you're doing. His eyes dart over your shoulder. You thought you had him cornered, but he suddenly leaps over the table and in one smooth move and dashes through the sparse crowd. You catch up to him outside. He's bolting, all right. Call after him to stop, give chase, or catch up to him. Let's catch up to him. Throwing caution to the wind, you focus your blood and give chase after Bruce. He might be faster than a human, but his abilities are a fraction of yours. He dashes into a nearby alley and you follow suit. Before he can jump the fence, you tackle him on the ground. A short brawl later, you are standing a few meters apart, Bruce eyeing you with hatred. Tell him his cover is blown, intimidate him with violence, or beat the name out of him. I've used a lot of my powers right now. What do you think, Geeky? Should we go with 1, 2, or 3? I see the blood around, and I'm kind of a bit hesitant to use more powers because I've used them twice already, and I don't know when my next feeding opportunity is, and I don't want the beast to come out. So I would say and tell him his cover is blown. We need that name though. That's the thing. Well, I mean, I know his cover is blown, so he might as well talk to me. Well, let's go with one. Listen, your cover is blown. I was told who you are. You better come clean. Your master's name. That's all I need. Bullshit. Besides, she'd kill me if I told you, and I quite like being alive. Intimidate with him with violence. Let's do that. Here's the deal. You tell me what... Sorry. Here's the deal. You tell me your master's name, and you save yourself a world of hurt. Unless you want to exit this alley on a stretcher, you'd better whack. Bruce doesn't wait for you to finish talking. He jumps at you, kicking and punching with dizzying speed. It takes you by surprise, and he puts you on the defensive. Just as you're about to retaliate, he breaks away, jumps the fence at the end of the alley, and is gone into parts of the city unknown. Shit. Time to leave something for Mia. You borrow a pen from the bar and flip Mia's notes to the other side. Sam, and you know it's a she. That still leaves a lot of options. You could pull a name out of your ass, or let Mia figure it out. Put down Samantha, leave Mia all the info you have, or leave no name. Let's just give her whatever we have. Mia asked you for the name, but if all you have is a fragment of the gender, it'll have to do. You jot down a note. Bruce referred to his master as Sam and called her a she. He passed the piece of paper to the bartender. She sticks it back into the same book. Hold on 1 second. She wanted me to pass something on to you. She produces a cell phone from behind the counter. It's ancient, at least 15 years out of date. Oh, right, and this. An old charger for the piece of junk in your hand. They really did think of everything. She said she'll be in touch. It takes you a moment to remind yourself how to operate this thing. And you find that its phone book is blank. There's no Wi-Fi connectivity and no saved messages. It's got a version of Snake, though. The bartender is already over at the other end of her domain, taking orders from patrons. With your anarch contact nowhere in sight, you decide to move on for the night. Hopefully, you educated guesses based on scrap of info you collected will be enough for Mia to call you. So that was a little forced upon us, that storyline, but it is part of the main storyline. You spent the rest of the night playing Snake. Yes, that would be a good option, right? So, Agathon would be our third time seeing him. We have the third time for a nosy reporter. Malkavian, which is Hope, would be, I believe, our third time as well. Same as D'Angelo, The Strangers, Part 3. The only one that we're not Part 3 yet is Tam. So I would go Part 3. Well, actually, we're Part 3 for everyone. Let's finish Hope first. I love Malkavians. I know I said this before, but man, we're batshit crazy and we love it. Perfectly crazy, right? That's what I like to say. So let's do that. Kara wants to meet. Hope decides you should see her alone, with an ace up your sleeve. Let's do that. When you reach the cafe, you're welcomed by the familiar face of the waiter who first led you inside. You exchange looks and nods. He hides his vape pen in a back pocket. She's been expecting you. Something happened to her car, and she hasn't exactly left her room ever since. He scratches his head, shrugs, and gestures at you to follow him. It's the same route as before. First beyond the locked door at the end of the room with all the computers, then into the endless gray labyrinth. Finally, you reach a door that would look like any other to a random bystander. Of course, by now you know that's Hope's haven lies beyond it. The waiter bids you adieu with an exaggerated bow and starts walking back to the cafe. You enter the familiar room this time. The lights are on inside. Hope is inside, walking around nervously, overseeing every screen in sight. When she spots you, she wastes no time on introductions. I am not okay at all. Aw. Cara Montgomery, what do you know of her? I know the name, not a lot, or heard something. I'll just say not a lot because I really have absolutely no idea who she is. No. You could have seen her in listicles such as Top 5 Badass Women in Tech 2018, 12 CEOs who spark innovation through empathy, or 20 entrepreneurs with mysterious ties to Jeffrey Epstein. You don't get to voice your answer. The question was just a minor courtesy. She has a monologue to deliver, and she won't allow any interruptions. Still don't know how she speaks with her handle as a voice. Yeah. 20 years ago, she was a failed dot-com investor. Now she's a CEO of a Double Spiral, a brand management startup working at the crossroads of big data and influencer culture. The quotation marks are audible, dripping with venom. Long story short, she spent years of convincing her Camarilla contact, as in out-of-touch old farts angry about smartphones, then that Kindred can benefit from controlling the internet. Her IT should have done a lot of research on deep fakes, AI, and machine learning. Her goal is the ability to generate thousands of believably human online accounts. Basically, an army of posters that could brute force anything into the mainstream discourse. The elder took a while to get the concept, but eventually Kara got their blessing. The thing is, she claims her tech is ready to be tested, but it needs one final component to work properly, and that's why. She pauses. She proposed a truce. Good news, what truce? Fuck her? Let's go with fuck her 100%. I love that. Fuck her. Took the words right out of my fucking mouth. But no matter how much I hate her guts, this is a blessing in disguise. Hear me out. She picked a public place in Manhattan, neutral grounds, where we can meet without the fear that the other party might do something stupid and violate the masquerade. She wants to just talk. You will go there in my place and listen to her terms. We won't accept them, of course, especially not after she just tried to kill us. You will just steal her voice and walk away. Steal her voice? I'm going alone, or why won't we accept the truce? Because we said fuck her, that's why. So let's ask about stealing the voice. Steal her voice? What's next? Will you trade her mermaid tail for legs? Oh my god. A Disney joke. Sweet. What next? Will you hit me with a topical Harry Potter reference? I'm not trying to be obtuse here. Wait a second, and let me explain my plan. You see, there is only one way to even the odds. We have to hit Kara where it hurts, and she's only got one weak point. Double Spiral headquarters. Kara is the only person with the access to every room. The security is something she came up with herself, voice-based, but using a different password phrase every time. That means just recording her talking is not enough if we want to get in. That's why I've started selling illicit materials to people with access to advanced deepfake audio technology. I've got it right in this room, and Now all I need is a sample base that will allow me to manufacture a bot that talks like her. To monitor data, I need to stay behind. Still, I think the plan is pretty simple. You talk to her while wearing a wire, I process the recordings here to seal her voice, and voila, she's wide open. Then we invade a double spiral and destroy it from within. The evil is defeated. I become part of your crew. Happy ending for everybody. Who does that sound to you? How does that sound to you? Won't I be in danger? Will she even talk to me? Or sounds fun? I definitely think that sounds fun. Everything with hope is fun. Sounds fun. Happy to hear it. Hope shakes her head and claps her hands. When she speaks up, she sounds different, more spaced out, stuttering. All right, antisocial engineering. All right, let me fix you up with the hardware. She hands you a minuscule earpiece and starts attaching a small decorative pin to your clothes, along with some mask wiring. It's a directional microphone. I can clean up the audio later, but keep pointed directly at Scarab as much as possible. All right? You put in the earpiece she gave you. It fits snuggled deep inside your right ear. Oh, I trust her. I like her. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. The hardware works flawlessly and the audio quality seems great. You give Hope an affirmative sign with your head. Beautiful. Kara designated the meeting place as the vessel. You've heard about the place, right? It's right by the eastern end of the Lincoln Tunnel. A giant pile of staircase is basically impossible to miss. Manhattan's answer to the Eiffel Tower, or a gaudy monument to being only ever so slightly free, depending on who you ask. I drive out there, but my car is still in the shop and I don't want to risk being spotted by Kara's people. And I need to process the voice data from here. Which means I have the perfectly acceptable number of excuses for not letting myself get anywhere close to that demonic old hag. You involuntarily roll your eyes a little bit. Hope sits in front of her screen, pretending not to have noticed. So, should we get this show on the road or what? Ready whenever you are. I feel like she's gonna backstab. No, I don't think so. No sense lingering here. You get back to the street and find your car. Wrapping up this show as quickly as possible sounds like a good idea. Around 30 minutes later, you are in front of the vessel. Hope's description, a giant pile of staircase, wasn't particularly helpful. From the distance, the building looks more like a giant honeycomb, designed to swarm in with tourist bees. At least during the day, that is. At the moment, the place is closed to general public. A few men who look vaguely threatening and out of place are making sure nobody unwanted gets in. Must be vampire. Exactly. You don't trust her. You know, what I've learned in this world is that you don't trust any vampires, but I have a soft spot for Hope. She's Malkavian, man. I know she's crazy, so I expect anything from her. Whether it's betrayal or anything else, I still like her. She's my fave in this 100%. And then second, I have to say is Tamika. She's awesome. Oh, but I do really like Kezia as well. He's like that, long hair, kind of awesome, deadly guy. It's funny when you hear awesome and deadly in the same, anyways. However, you have no problem getting up the stairs. All it takes is an exchange of knowing glances with one of the guards. You are expected. A lone figure appears in your sight, staring down at the streets of Manhattan. City people often complain about being unable to see the starry skies, but I always thought the real tragedy tragedy was how they're unable to appreciate the man-made sea of lights that surround them. Silent but deadly. Yes, I agree. You can teach people a lot of things, but you can't teach them to see. Huh? You recognize the face from Hope's phone. Finally, you meet Kara Montgomery in the flesh. She turns to you, puts on a wide smile, and shakes your hand with a firm grip. First a representative of Sophie Langley, now a representative of Hope. Not the way I developed my own career, but I gotta say not many neonates get around the way you do. Contents under pressure. Hardy fucking har. Hope speaks up in your ear for the first time, seething with contempt. Although Kara couldn't possibly have heard her, she immediately goes on to address her absence. Can't say I expected her to actually arrive here with you or instead of you. On the other hand, I'm sure every single word I say will be instantly relayed to her. And for the first time in forever, you empty blabbering will serve an actual useful cause. So let me make sure we cut out everyone but the middleman for a while, okay? She takes out her phone and taps the touchscreen. In a few seconds, the barely perceptible buzzing sound in your ear disappears completely. You can't hear Hope anymore. It's probable she can't hear your voice right now either, which would mean she must be busy raging and cursing out everything in sight at the moment. This obviously wasn't something she expected to happen. Could it be that Kara saw through your plan? You have to play it cool and see what happens next. Knowing Hope, you've probably heard whatever scraps can be Googled up about me and a pile of insults for good measure. Obviously, I know everything there is to be known about you as well, Jack. I don't believe we have a need for formal introductions, but first off, let me apologize for the discomfort my former employee has caused you. I wasn't remotely aware of this planned action against Hope. I fully condemn them. I'm glad to see you unharmed, and of course, applaud your swift disposal of this psycho. Langley chose you well. Fuck you, woman. Brief silence. So let me cut to the chase here and present myself the best way I know how. Through my ideas. Who do you think has a monopoly on reality? That CEO talk. Yes, definitely. Not much of small talk, is she? Who do you think has a monopoly on reality? Corporations, we do, or the state? I'll say we do because majority of humans don't even know that vampires exist. We do. Kara raises her eyebrow. Now that's platitude if I've ever heard one or had one. That's so weird. I feel like that was mistyped. Unless you mean us, as in the kindred. A monopoly is a bit much. But yes, we've been pretty adept at controlling the narrative regarding our existence throughout the ages. Too bad we've started slipping up recently. We were completely unprepared for the information era, and the existence of the Second Inquisition is a direct consequence of that. So many final deaths that could have been avoided. But unlike Hope, who decided to separate herself from this shit show and criticize from a safe distance without offering any solutions, I'm here to take matters into my own hands. She signals to someone behind you. For a while, you've been watched by Kara's men who circles around the staircase, presumably her ghouls. One of them sets off downstairs. You know, Bolivia just had a military coup. Hundreds of new accounts posting about nothing but Bolivian politics in English set out to convince every random person online that the US wasn't to be blamed. Sloppy work, if you ask me. Now imagine this, a 17-year-old K-pop fan from Ohio writing an entire thread about how her relatives in La Paz are actually glad the president is gone. Hey Lord G6! How are you? I hope you're doing great on this beautiful Sunday. Beautiful cloudy Sunday, but it is a beautiful Sunday, right? A film reviewer with a side interest in politics selling you a CIA-approved narrative about Evo Morales. An approachable fitness guy explaining the situation to you in simple terms, just like it is. Animated voice, expressive gestures, and steady eye contact. She's taught herself how to project a good image, but isn't a natural yet. At times, it feels as if she's screaming at you to trust her. It's not hard to emulate the masses. Reach out to one of those Eastern European troll farms and bang. A few hours later, you have a clone army that will instantly voice their support for any cause. You will spread your message, but you won't masquerade your messaging as independent, though. For that, you need personalities, not the masses. But the ability to emulate personality is a whole different ballgame. Not a craft, but an art. You need to understand your fabrication so deeply that you start to hate it and then learn to love it. And if you want to make a bunch of those personalities follow one agenda, you need a once-in-a-lifetime team to achieve that. A like-minded artistic collective, both ambitious and obedient. You're doing great. How about you? That is great that you're doing great. I'm doing great, other than the fact that I hurt my back yesterday during my phase 2 project that's not 100% finished. But yeah, I kind of stretched out one of the muscles in my back because I leaned forward instead of bending my knees. So I'm the first one that usually preaches that to everyone, and I'm the only one who didn't respect that yesterday. So shame on me. No, it didn't get better. But hopefully today it will. Or tomorrow, or worst case scenario. We'll see, right? Even though you can't hear Hope's voice in your ear right now, you could swear you hear her in Car's speech. It's the exact same tone she was using when monologuing in the car. One of them must have been a big influence on another, or perhaps they used to be in a position where they both shaped each other's personas. Hard to say, only one thing is for sure. Just give me a second. Demon just brought me a yummy, yummy, yummy strawberry lemonade. I don't know what they call these, like un givré là. Super good. I love these. They're so good. A little bit of sugar never hurt anyone, right? And that is, Hope must be absolutely furious right now. Is it possible that Kara knew about her plot? Fingers crossed she doesn't. The state is satisfied when an account that went unused for 5 years suddenly start yelling imperialist propaganda into the void. The aging corporations are too set in their ways. But imagine a fresh start. Imagine a fresh startup that enables the proliferation and ideas adjacent to the prince's plan for the future. Now imagine it getting into bed with the biggest corporation and agencies. Just gonna place this a little better. Oh man, I was so thirsty too. Thank you, Demon, for that. Very refreshing. So many unlives that couldn't be improved or even saved from the rays of first light. I have the infinite Sorry, I have the infrastructure. I have the elders' support. He's not in the chat. He's right next to me. I have the elders' support. All I need now is a mastermind at the center of it all. The mastermind, you mean, or hope? She wants a mastermind. It's gonna improve the ambiance. The mastermind, you mean, or hope? Let's go with hope directly, straight to the point. Hope. Yes, hope. She looks down and takes in the scenery below for a while, then she points at her t-shirt, the one piece of clothing that clashes with the rest of her outfit. You know, I'm a huge fan of punk. The leading idea of my company, Double Spiral, is to make everything I do a little bit punk. I'm all about clashing ideas. I'm all about disruption. You blink a few times in a quick succession. Oh God, you think to yourself, she's that kind of person. You saw a lot of them in your old life. Another established asshole co-opting everything anti-establishment, blasting Fugazi while ruining lives via Excel spreadsheets. You might have punched a boss cut from the same cloth once. You collect yourself and escape from memory lane. Kara started talking about hope, so you'd better listen. To me, hope is as punk as it gets. A free spirit, fiercely independent, an eternal contrarian at odds with everything and everyone, developing her talent just because she finds it joyful. I find it really odd that Kara is talking about hope like this when she literally just tried to kill her. So Kara is the girl that I don't trust talking about. So Kara is the girl that I don't trust talking about. Yeah, exactly. But God, does this girl need guidance? Not putting her talents to better use, rotting away, posting inane bullshit all the time? What a waste. I have built an environment specifically to develop her talents and let her become indispensable to our society, but she rejects it because of some idiotic hang-up. I don't expect you to change your mind about me just because I kept yapping and yapping. I just hope you'll keep my perspective in mind and serve as the voice of reason hope really needs right now. Should get a second mic for Demon. Yeah. He'd be doing some color commentary. You know what the thing is, Geeky, the issue with that I have to be honest, is that often we're in the same room and we're like in the small 4.5, and he like even if he's in the furthest room away, just the way he talks, because he has like this really loud voice, you guys would hear him in double all the time. So I mean, that's double trouble right there. Just me and him, double trouble, 100%. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think you knew. You can say hi though, Demon.
Hello, everyone.
See? He's there. So actually, when we did, like, let's say the Man of Medan,
I'm lurking in the dark.
He's lurking in the dark. Oh. Oh, you want UFO to sing? Come sing something. No?
Sing? No.
He's like, sing? No. I learned that yesterday. Yeah, that he yeah, exactly. He can see you lurking in the dark, right? He's a demon. Exactly. Yeah, that's what it is. My boy just looked at me like, I'm not gonna sing. You know, typical teen kind of boy. He's so funny. Anyways, now that I've had my say, how about we put our girl back on? She taps on her phone again. A quiet buzz reappears in your right ear. 3 dots. To Hope, are you there? Or to Kara, you're bluffing. I'd say to Kara, you're bluffing. I'm calling her out. I realized when I heard it in my earphone. Do you like putting 8s instead of I's? Super cute how you do that. You're bluffing. I'm going to go with you're bluffing. This is a better safe than sorry kind of thing, isn't it? There's no one listening in. Maybe you're right. Maybe not. She's 100 years too early to even think of accessing my comms. She's bullshitting you. Don't sell her anything but bullshit in return. Look who's back. I don't mean to say 8, but it's what I want to say. Don't worry. She should have heard everything. I just wanted to spare you an annoying commentary track while I introduce myself. Excuse me for a second. One of Kara's guards approaches to show her something on his phone. Hope uses a distraction to get you up to speed with how things are on her side. Yeah, for a second there, I was about to rage that the hag has gotten the better of us. But hey, go figure. She just wanted to take a piss in my Cheerios. The plan worked. I have a lot of data from her monologuing and some private sources, but the more we gather, the better. This display here says some more K letters should be useful. So don't beat yourself up about it if you fail. But if you get her to repeat something with K in it, that might improve the deepfake voice. Piston Cheerios. Yes, that is really funny. Looks like Kara's done talking to the guard. Sorry about that. Looks like I've got to attend a sudden meeting with the Gruul representative shortly. Hope snorts. Not bragging, though. By the way, does anyone but Hope know about this little rendezvous, your patron? Any other companion? Or maybe the Nosferatu? My patron, the Nosferatu, or nobody? I'll just say nobody. Nobody. It's just us. Should I have told anyone? Maybe, maybe not. It just says a lot about your personality, that's all. Anyways, no offense, but since Hope's not here, I really have to rush. Honestly, I feel a little insulted that she set up this meeting and didn't even bother to show up. She's about to throw you off a building. That's if I don't throw her off first. Come on. I'd throw her off first. That would be cool, yeah. Insulted and suspicious, her tone of voice betrays her. She might have some good instincts. Too bad she didn't trust them here. Still out of respect for Langley, I decided to have this talk with you, to explain you why I'm an asset to the Camarilla, and to explain why the elders need Hope by my side. What the warm-brained hag here forgot to mention is that the elders don't give a shit about me. Even if you don't see it my way now, I believe I've seen some seeds here that might sprout in the near future. Double Spiral looks out of people who look out for it is all I'm saying. Because the body will have fingerprints and can be arrested. How do you know? Maybe we have the cleanup crew coming and doing it, right? But before I leave, there's one thing I really wish I knew. Back when I knew her, she was a different person, or different people, depending on how you look at it. Not the fact that you can die. Well, the only way that we can permanently die in this UFO is if we get our head ripped off, basically, or cut off, or sliced off. If we get a stake through the heart, it just kind of puts us in like this fake death, but we can come back from it as soon as, decapitation, exactly. Why does she fight against me so much? What's her motivation to resist so much? What's her motivation? Good question. She's never shared it with you. Answer whatever you want, but A, you better lie through your teeth. B, get her to say V a few times if you can. It might improve a few shortcomings of our deepfake software. She just wants to hashtag resist. Yes. What's your answer? Survival, one word, payback, retribution, or love? Let's bullshit with love. Love, I think. Kara blinks open her mouth and then shuts it. Then she scoffs. Nonsense. Of course it was, but she sounds like she was trying to convince herself. Something about your answer resonates with her. One of Kara's people erupts with a theatrical cough. Kara gestures at him to calm down. I really need to go now. See you around, Jack. She begins to walk down the stairs, surrounded by her guards. Once she's gone from before your eyes, Hope decides to summarize your mission. For the love of Christ. Wish she could have kept her droning on for a little longer. Turns out the T letter could use some improvement as well. Not complaining though. You did good. And don't worry, the data I have should be more than enough to generate a convincing deepfake. I just need to put in some more work. So I guess I will do that right away. Enjoy the rest of your night. Drop my hardware at your haven when you get a chance. No, I'm not going to kill Hope. No. I'll let you know when we're ready to hit Kara's base of operations. Pray for my success, sweetie. And I might be done soon. Maybe even tomorrow. Maybe we will kill Kara. That would be a good idea. And once we're done with her, we'll talk about how I can repay your generosity. Amen. Too many bodyguards. Yeah, that is true. The connection drops. It looks like that's all for now. You gaze at the sea of lights around you for the last time and then start making your way back to the street level. It is nighttime. We must rest. Or daytime, rather. A piece of paper is sticking out of your mailbox. It's a computer printout, a note, and a screenshot from Google Maps. It reads, meet me at the indicated spot tomorrow at 10 p.m. I'll pick you up and we'll take it from there. No signature. The place marked on the map is the lookout point near Pier 1, just next to the Brooklyn Bridge. You check the phone that Mia passes on to you. No new message, no missed call. It's all a bit fishy, but there's only one way to find out who addressed it to you. Looks like tomorrow evening has been planned out for you. You go downstairs as soon as you wake up. One more glance at the phone, but no news from Mia. You take the car down to Brooklyn Park on Front Street and approach the meeting spot cautiously. A figure of about Mia's size is standing there and dressed in an oversized jacket and looking out towards Manhattan. As you approach, you can hear her muttering something. Is it true? But I do not think it's true. If I do not think it's true, then it cannot be true. And if it cannot be true, then... Is that you, Mia? Are you the one who left the note? Or I'm supposed to meet somebody here? I'll just say number 3. Hey, I'm meeting someone here tonight. I don't suppose that would be you? The woman turns around. It's not Mia. Whoever it is, you have never seen her before. She looks perfectly plain and unmemorable. Why, yes, it's me. We are meeting now. You are meeting me. I am meeting you. Such a joyous occasion. You turn around. 3 men, all of them burly and threatening, approach you. One of them takes the lead. So, you got the message. I did? Who are you? Or what is this about? I'll just say I did. Straight to the point. What now? Now you'll come with us. I've seen enough internet to know where this is going. Love that voice. You love my voice, eh? I know. The boss wants to meet you. Kaiser, Callaghan, or Torque? Let's go with Torque. That's the one we want to meet. Oh, you mean Torque? What? You gotta be shitting me. Torque ain't the boss of jack shit. I mean Boss Callahan, you dumbass. I suggest you get a move on. We've got places to be. The voice of the woman keeps creeping into your consciousness. The litany of gibberish ever present throughout this entire conversation. The man cracks his knuckles. Or we can do it the hard way. I like to see him up against Kadze. Kadze would just take one slice of his head off. Agree to go with them, fight back, or escape the trap. I want to escape the trap. Let's do this. Coming here was a mistake. It's time to blow his joints. Your muscles tense in preparation for a sprint that will take you away from this place and back inside your car. A shriek fills your head. It's the woman. She's ridiculing you, provoking you to stay and fight, to show them you're not to be ordered around. But they'll just find you again, though. Yeah. They try to overcome you, but you fight back. You break one guy's nose and dislocate another kneecap. Yeah, who's big and scary now, you fuckers? A stake slams into your chest. Oh, shit! The man who talked to you appears before your face, smiling a crooked smile. Do I always have to do everything myself? Load him on the boat, you useless cocksuckers. You're barely conscious. It's impossible to tell where they're taking you or how long it will take. A sucking sound and the clear sensation of having a cavity in your chest that wasn't there before. A deep voice breaking through the oblivion you're returning home. Vincent, my boy, you truly are a nuisance sometimes. But you do get the job done. That's what I respect. That's why I respect you. Thank you, boss. I'm managing pretty damn good, okay? Sight comes back to you. The owner of the deep voice is a curious sight, dressed in what can only be described as Victorian clothing with a monocle and graying red hair. Is this Callahan? There we go. Coming to, are we? Heard you are a spirited one, eh? Vincent, and this fledgling spirited, would you say? Yeah, boss. Sure, spirited. I believe you already know who I am. You're Boss Callahan, you're the Anarch Baron, or you're dumb-looking motherfucker. Oh! I'm definitely going with number 3. Nope. Just that you're a dumb-looking motherfucker. A fist hits your stomach like a meteor. Were the hit any harder, you're pretty sure your spine would have snapped like a twig. Much obliged, Vincent. Let's get these pleasantries out of the way, shall we? I am Douglas Callahan, the Baron of New York City. You shall refer to me as Boss. Everybody who knows what's good for them does. Now, let me make myself perfectly clear. I am disappointed in you, truly disappointed, but I arranged this meeting to allow you to make amends. First, though, I have to make sure you understand what your infraction was. So, do you know why you're here? It's not really a British voice. I'm not really good at that. I feel like you're dying to tell me because I work for Sophie Langley or because I wanted to meet with Torque. I would say number 1. I feel like you're dying to tell me. I can't help but feel like you're dying to tell me. Don't get smart with me. He takes your face in his hand while Vince holds you in a tight grip. He squeezes hard and looks you deep into the eyes. Talk is the reason you're here. Or that little angry strumpet of his, I'm told. Yes, Mia? Oh, how I'd love to get my hands on her gaunt neck and wring it until it breaks. But see, I'm a statesman. And that's not the prudent thing to do. No, indeed. The prudent thing to do is tolerate both her and the blasted ebony-skinned mentor of hers. Look at what the world has become these nights. Here I am, lambasting a black man and a woman in front of a wealth of Asian descent. My papa, rest his soul, would not believe in it. Okay guys, I just gotta switch up here real quick. A little bit racist. It sounds like it to me, for sure. Finish with your disgusting rant. Please just let me go, or you take that shit back, or else. I go with number 1. I haven't fed in a while. I don't think he's gonna kill me. I think he brought me there to be like, you know, the messenger. Kind of like to show his authority and his respect, you know, whatever. Whatever it is, I'm not buying it. So I'll go with finish with your disgusting rant. Oh, fledgling, you have no idea who you're messing with. He looks at you with rage in his eyes, and you feel insignificant and vulnerable. An irrational fear takes over you. You cannot speak up against this man again. You just can't. He's too terrifying. Bullshit. Now that I have your full attention, I will request something from you, and you will obey me to the letter, but that comes later. First, you will answer a few questions, the first of which, who pointed you to Mia? Sophie made me do it, or nobody, it was my idea. I'm gonna go with number 2. Nobody, it was my idea. Oh, really? And what was your intention behind the meeting? I needed Mia's help. I wanted to contact Torque. Let's go with number 2. I wanted to contact Torque. I had to go through Mia. Ah, yes. The so-called veteran loves to use petite girls to hide behind, I heard. That would check out. What did you end up discussing? She wanted me to do her a favor, or I wanted her to explain the anarchs to me. I'm going to say she wanted me to do her a favor. Which is the truth. She wanted me to do her a favor, to grill a guy named Bruce about his master's name. Oh, is that so? Vincent, do we know this Bruce? I don't know Bruce, boss. I'm having too much fun with these voices. It's so funny. Why am I not surprised, Vincent? I'll investigate this myself later. See, that wasn't hard now, was it? Of course, I can't be sure how much of what you told me was true, and how much of it is worth about as much as yesterday night's horseshit. But I'll find out. I always do. When I do, we'll have another one of these nice talks, and maybe, just maybe, you'll avoid this upcoming unpleasant episode next time. He gives Vince a sign, and the burly man starts hitting you all over. You feel teeth, ribs, and fingers break. Your foot is mangled under Vince's boot. Your shoulder dislocated, your nose wrecked. That fucker! That's enough, Vincent. Leave them be. He snaps his finger in front of your face a few times and checks if you can focus on his face. You can, but barely. I am A man of principle. Another night, I would perhaps put you in a casket, dip it in concrete, and dump it in the Hudson. A favorite of mine during the roaring 20s. It's been a while. But like I mentioned before, I'm nothing but prudent. And so the interests of this city kindred must come before my own needs and wants. I will therefore let you continue your existence. Here's what I require in return of this boon. You are forbidden to meet Torque. I will keep an eye on you, on him. If you want a place with the Anarchs, you go through me and only me. Got it? You have to understand what I made my associates to do. What I made my associates do to you tonight was just business. We can still work out a mutual beneficial relationship. In fact, it's either that or your final death. Time to go, Vincent. Take the boat back. Leave the fledgling here. I think they have a lot to think about. Why does he keep referring to us as they? Sure thing, boss. Pleasure making your acquaintance. Callahan walks away, as do Vince and his band of thugs. You lie on the ground for a while longer, feeling the blood slowly putting your body back together. Your hunger's growing. You can hear the beast calling for sustenance, for safety. Oh no! For revenge, a distant but pronounced third desire. It's not until you mend yourself enough to appear more as a mugging victim than an impossibly mangled walking cadaver that you hail a passing taxi and head back to your haven. Maybe he's saying they so it's less dialogue to write if your character is a woman. Yeah, true. He certainly knows how to convince people to not join him. Yeah, exactly. The whole way there, you're tempted by the beast. Your driver, a 30-something with a strong Slavic accent and an unpronounceable name on his ID, keeps asking if he should drive you to the hospital. You keep declining, all the while thinking that if you only asked him to pull over for 5 minutes, you could feast on his arm blood to the beast's content. Drink him whole, nobody would know. Nobody but his wife and kids, if he has them. Nobody but his boss and coworkers. Nobody but you, as you look in the mirror tomorrow. You can't afford the hospital anyway. That is so true. Keeping your hunger at bay was never before as difficult as it is tonight. The driver stops at your apartment building. There is nobody around. You can do it. Do it now. Now! Give in to the beast's call or resist the beast's call. I don't want to give in to the beast. Resist. You pay the driver and walk out. Fast. Leave the car behind. Don't look back. Look back. Walk back. Feed. No. Through the door, up the stairs, key in the lock, open the apartment, walk in, lock yourself in. The familiar four walls of your haven are a blessing. The beast inside you keeps nagging, but you kept it at bay tonight. Not a small feat, given your state. You are still weak. You're still not quite mended. You need to rest. Tomorrow, you will have to feed again. Tomorrow, you'll have to consider your next move. Callahan is not the kind of man who quits, but tonight you rest. Okay, let's see what happens. Waking up tonight feels different for two reasons. For one, you were pleasantly surprised that your body mended reasonably well while you were resting. It comes back with a caveat, though. The hunger, you feel it is pronounced. The beast, like a black dog on the edge of your vision, following you. But what is truly remarkable is waking up to the tune of an old cell phone ringtone. An unknown number is calling from the phone you got from Mia. You pick up. Keep that old thing charged after all, huh? You alright? Cut to the chase. I feel like shit. Cut to the chase. Cut to the chase. Is the meeting set up or not? What? Not a fan of small talk? Good. Me neither. Calling with some news. Turk has agreed to meet you. There's a pub in the Bronx, Solids and Stripes. Be there tonight. 2 things. No drinking on the premises, so if you want to grab a snack, do it before setting foot in the borough. And this is an exclusively no powers meeting. Well, we'll be rubbing shoulders with the commoners the whole evening, and also won't trust you. And also we don't trust you, so keep it casual or you'll blow it. Anything you'd like to add? Callahan forbade me from meeting with Torque. We should expect company. Will you protect me from Callahan? I'll say number 1. Yeah, I met Callahan yesterday. He kicked my ass and forbid me from meeting Torque. I'm not sure I should be here tonight. Silence on the line. Fuck. More silence. I can't promise you any protection on your way there or back, but at the pub, you'll be in Torque's domain. For all his posturing, Callahan doesn't have the balls to strike Torque directly. We'll post additional lookouts on watch. That's the best I can do. If Callahan got under your skin, I get it. I was in that spot once or twice, too. All I've got to say is the risk is worth it. If you don't show tonight, I won't blame you, but it's a one-time offer only. You gotta hedge your bets. Just don't do anything stupid. You meet with us tonight, it better be in good faith. She ends the call. First things first, you take the subway to York Street Station, walk to Front Street, retrieve your car, and weigh your options while driving back to your haven. Go to the meeting directly, drive around before going to the meeting, tell Sophie you can meet with Torque, or finally, feeding your opportunity, trust your intuition. At this point, I need to feed because I don't want the beast to take over, so that's the one we're going to take. You've been doing this for a good few nights. You're getting a feel for it. You're learning what kind of predator you are and what kind of blood you crave. If someone would say, don't swear, would you do it more as a joke? Yeah, well, when people tell me not to do something, I just automatically tend to do it more because no one tells me what to do. You're so caught up in yesterday's problems, and in this cloak and dagger debacle, you're now a part of that. You're so caught up in yesterday's problems and in this cloak and dagger debacle you're now part of, that the hunt feels almost automatic and casual tonight. A fragment of your surrender's control. And just to be clear, when I say that I do it anyways, I don't mean like when I'm being, or when someone doesn't like something and is honestly like, you know, asking nicely and stuff like that. That's not what I mean. So, clearly. Just minutes after you find your victim, coax them, and drink from them, you find you've forgotten their face and how they were dressed. It only hits you once you look at yourself in your car's rearview mirror. This was wrong. You can't let this become the norm. You hurt somebody, a human being. You're a monster. You need to stay mindful of this. You're a monster, but unless you let yourself off the hook, you can hold on to your humanity and not let yourself slide down this spiral. Instead of clearing your mind, this clouded it further, and you're still no closer to a decision. Tell Sophie you can't meet with Torque, drive around before going to the meeting, or go to the meeting directly. I'm still bugged that I have that blood around the screen. I thought that drinking would make me better. I think it's the fact that I took like 2 different powers earlier that it kind of put me in this situation, which sucks, to be honest, but okay, let's recap. The reason why we need to meet Torque, yeah, I should still be fine. I'm hoping we'll get another feeding opportunity. The reason why we're seeing Torque is because Sophie wants us to meet with Torque and say that she wants to talk to him. I tried to do a no power run once. I think it's possible. Yeah, it could be. I think it would be too. So right now, if we go against Sophie, she could literally kill us. She has the right to, and no one would hate her for it. I don't like her though. I don't want to be under her anymore. So I want to meet Torque though. I kind of want to know where this is going. Drive around before going to the meeting and go meet directly. Let's go meet directly. Dangerous or not, you have to make the trip to the Bronx and meet with Torque. No detours, best just get it over with. Because honestly, as a Bruja, I don't fucking care about this Callahan guy. Like, you know, my character is scared of him, but I don't know. You take some basic precautions as you enter Torque's turf. You park a few streets over from where the pub is and walk towards it while keeping an eye out for anyone suspicious. That kindred, for the most part, looks no different than regular one. Makes things complicated, of course, if you're being followed or watched. It's going to be hard to tell. You reach the pub. Shoot a final glance around. There's nobody suspicious around as far as you can see, and open the door. The smell of cigarettes is overwhelming. The whole place has an aura about it. A constant fog hanging right under the ceiling. The lethargic fans do nothing to disperse it. The constant crack of billiards balls and clanging of glasses tells you all you need to know about the clientele. Not a very vampiric place at all. You're wondering if you got the address right. You apparently did. Mia's here. She motions you over to one of the few tables around. Took your sweet time to get here. What got cold feet? Never mind. Anyone follow you? I don't know, maybe. Not that I know of. Weren't you supposed to place lookouts? Not that I know of, I'll say. Fair enough. Before I introduce you, there is some outstanding business to discuss. You didn't prove very helpful at the bar. Carol, the bartender, mentioned that you made an effort, but as you can imagine, there are plenty of licks who use feminine pronouns in the city. Still, I'll take whatever I can get, so thanks for that, I guess. Come on, Torque's right here. You walk towards one of the tables. A guy in a coat and hat leans over to take a shot. He's way ahead of his opponent. The table is clear of his balls, save for the 8-ball in a tricky position. Hey, they're here. Be with you in just a moment. The hit is fast, precise, and sends the black ball exactly where its player wanted it. His opponent lets out a frustrated sigh. That's that. I believe that's 150 American dollars, Joey. You want to pay up now or up the stakes again? The disgruntled man accepts his defeat and pays up, then declares he's going to grab another beer. To the victor go the spoils. Thank you kindly. He turns his full attention to you. The man is good looking, if somewhat gaunt and intense. His eyes especially seem to pierce right through your core, but not in an unpleasant way. Name's Torque. I believe you're Jack. Sophie Langley's new plaything. Is that right? That's right. How does everyone always know that? Or plaything? No. I'm going with definite number 3. Plaything? No. We're not lovers. Ha! Apologies then. With her, that's kind of the default, I hear. I did hear about your curious partnership, though. Forgive my being real with you right off the bat, but I like to know who it is I'm dealing with. So here's something that I've been scratching my head about. If you're with Langley and Langley's cam through and through, I'm told what it is you've come to accomplish here tonight. So the whole purpose of this was to tell him only about Sophie, so that Sophie wants to meet with him. Sophie Langley wants to meet with you. Don't ask why, she didn't tell me. She just said it has something to do with gathering allies against Boss Callahan. I'm here to arrange that meeting. The fuck? I knew nothing about this. They lied to me. Mia's furious. She's looking at the pool cue and at you as if she was figuring out the best combination for the two. It's fine. I appreciate the honesty. And even if you weren't straight with my second in command, that I don't appreciate. Well. Ain't that an interesting proposition? You can't be seriously thinking about meeting with Langley. She's a hardline cam. It's a trap. It must be. It just might be. It just might. He looks at you, pierces you with his unnaturally keen eyes. He's about to say something when a door opens at the back of the room. Hey, Torque, you, got a guest. They're in the back. Mia, won't you be a dear and keep our new friend company? I'll see what the commotion is. Sure thing. Torque tips his hat to you and walks to the back, joining the man who called for him. Mia glowers at you, this time weighing one of the pool balls in her hand. She looks like she has half of mind to chuck it at your face. You gotta be quite happy with yourself, bluffing your way in here. Hey, whatever works. Sorry if it has had to be this way, or it's not just Sophie I'm here for. I'll say sorry if it had to be this way. I wish I did things differently, but it is what it is. I'm not proud of myself. You shouldn't be. You made me look like a chump in front of Torque. Here I was beginning to think you might make a good addition to our little family. There's a whole lot of trust you'll have to regain before that happens now. Torque appears from a door at the back and calls across the room. Yo, Mia, can I grab you for a second? Jack, get over here too. But she's a chump though. Yeah, exactly. A chump or a chimp? You go to the back room. It's basically a storage area with a single wooden desk. It's pretty cramped, especially considering there's 5 other people in there with you. Torque ushers you in and closes the door behind you and Mia. 2 burly dudes are holding somebody down. A familiar voice reaches your ears. Uh-oh. Who do you guys think it is? Is it D'Angelo? Oh, is it that reporter maybe? I don't know. Who do you guys think it is? Gigi, Lord, Demon, UFO?
Vince.
Demon thinks it's Vince. What about you, UFO? Hope, maybe?
I don't know.
He doesn't know.
Sure. No, the guy there that was.
I won't answer that one. It's true, eh? Because you and Gigi know who it is.
Callahan.
I don't think it would be Callahan. Oh, yes! Demon for the win. Vince, that motherfucker. Okay. Motherfuckers, you're gonna pay for this. You hear me? The boss is going to fuck you up so bad. You have no idea. And Lord G6, that's the return of that voice you love. Have you had Have you had the doubtful pleasure of meeting Mr. Cerruti before, Jack? Yeah, we met yesterday. You could say that. I have a score to settle. Yes, I have a fucking score to settle. This is golden. I'm saying that. I have a score to settle. I have a score to settle with this fucker. Yes. You fucked. You're fucked. You're so fucked. You don't even know it. You stupid piece of shit. I should have ended you yesterday. The boss told you to stay away. You should have listened. That's a story and a half, ain't it? Vince, calm down now and tell me how many of your guys are still out there on my turf, Go fuck yourself. You're done. The boss will know the stupid piece of shit fledgling came here. He knows they're with Langley. You know what that means. Torque. No, I don't. What does it mean, Vince? Now the boss can wipe you out. He'll just say you're sucking Langley's tits and all those buddies of yours. Gone. You're done, Torque. Well now, if that's the case, I guess ridding New York City of your toady ass won't make things any worse, will it? Actually, there's an idea. Vince mentioned that he beat you up yesterday. Did I hear that right, Jack? You want to repay the favor? I want no part of it. It's your turf. You deal with him, or gladly. I mean, it's his turf. I agree with that, but he's offering me. So I'm gladly gonna take it. Gladly. Go right ahead. Aww. Okay, I don't want to kill him. Do I kill him? I want to hurt him. I'm not going to kill him. I'm looking at the red around and I need blood. If I kill him, I'm giving in to the beast. And I don't want to give in to the beast. I want to maintain control. So I'm going to go hurt Vince a lot. You hit Vince once, twice. He's chuckling in the beginning, but you focus your blood for some extra oomph and get hitting him. Again, more, until he stops laughing. He's bruised, battered, and broken. The two Anarch dudes let go of him and you kick him some more while he's on the floor. You only stop when you hear Torque's voice. Enough's enough, Jack. He takes an old pool cue and breaks it over his knee. Stake him and take him downstairs. Let's keep Callahan guessing about what happens to his favorite puppy. Mia takes a sharp piece of wood and jams it into Vince's chest. His features grow slack, his entire body inert. He doesn't even give out a yelp. The other two Anarchs take him out of the room. As entertaining as that was, I think Vince, in his unmatched wisdom, shared more than Callahan would hope for. This changes things. Ever heard about Operation Lights Out, Jack? It was the Second Inquisition effort here in New York City, a single night of raids at a magnitude never seen before or since. The Ivory Tower got away with just a few losses here and there. No major players were hit. They managed to find safe spots and stay out of the eye of the shitstorm. Us, though, we got hit hard. All over town. Havens were rooted out, entire coteries and safe houses gone, just like that. Nobody saw it coming. I barely got out in one piece. Mia looks at him with concern and puts a hand on his arms. He shrugs it off, gently but surely. Others, like my child Barb, or Mia's sire, extinguished. But you know who got out without a scratch? Callahan. Oh, so he's the leech that probably betrayed everyone. We've thought about it for the past few years. How is that Big B managed to excuse himself from the Staten Island Museum where we used to meet, just before vans full of guys in body armor show up? How is it that as my baby is burning up after being shot with incendiary rounds, I also see Doug Callahan running with his tail between his legs, pushing fledglings like you in the path of the SI? We think the bastard knew what was coming, and he set us up. Not just us, some of our brothers and sisters who got hit had some of the lowest profiles in the city's population. The moral of the story: Callahan is an opportunistic motherfucker, and even if his thickest followers suggest he's going to sell me out, then that's what he's going to do, as sure as the sun rises. He pauses for a moment, and you see him reach a decision. You said something about Langley having an offer for me. It might be your fault in a part that I'm at this juncture, but now's going to be as good as a time as any to listen to what she has to say. I don't think that's wise, T. Well, what would you have me do then? You said it yourself. It's all this fledgling's fault. They brought this on us, so let's use them as a bargaining chip. Callahan wants them, Langley needs them. They're valuable. Me, valuable? I'm just a pawn? I'm sorry, but don't sell me out, or what the fuck, Mia? No, I'd just go with the first one. I'm definitely just a pawn, so... No, you're wrong. I'm just a pawn. That's why Sophie sent me here. Plausible deniability and all that. I'm expendable. The realization that you just summarized the entirety of the last 2 weeks or so hits you hard. But if there was a moment to be honest with yourself, it's now. Fuck. The man puts his hand on Mia's shoulder. She calms down a bit. We're afraid, Jack, but then what else is new? It's a paradox, being who we are. The hunter one night and the hunted another. Masters of the night, slaves to dawn, a duality to everything. Mia, I understand your concern, but I need you to trust me like you did before. This is my call and my responsibility. You can give me shit about it later, like I'm sure you will. Count on it. He smiles, then takes on a no bullshit look and points at you. 3 conditions. First, you come pick me up personally and bring me to the meeting spot. Anything goes sideways, it's your ass. 2, Mia's coming with me. No 2 ways about it. 8 eyeballs in the meetings. The 2 of you, the 2 of us, nobody else. And third, the meeting is in public, downtown, some spot frequented by mortals. We see you, take us anywhere fishy. We check out and fuck you up as a message to Langley. I count on it not coming out. Hold on. I count on it not coming to that, though. You seem likable enough. The chem hasn't gotten its talent in you yet. Keep it up, and maybe you'll come to the same conclusion we did in your own time. I'll repeat your conditions to Sophie. I doubt it. It's dangerous being anarch, or I'll wait and see. Let's just do straight business. I'll repeat conditions to Sophie. I'll make sure to repeat your conditions to Sophie. You do that. Best be on your way. Ask for me here when you need me. The bartender knows how to get in touch. Just ask him to put the owner on the line. Mia walks you to the door and accompanies you to the car. Hey, Joker time! How are you? I'm so glad that you're here. Listen about what I said before. Save it? Yeah, what about it? Or I hope you're about to apologize. I'm just gonna say save it. Save it. She freezes for a second, then shrugs her shoulders. Your call. See ya. She starts walking back to the bar as you start the engine and head back to Sophie's apartment. Time to give Sophie the good news. She welcomes you as openly as ever, clearly excited to see you and for what news you might bring. Good evening, Jack. How is your task doing? You have something for me, perhaps? I did what you asked. It's done but cost me dearly, or it's done but there'll be trouble. I'm going with number 3. I did what you asked. The meeting is set up. I suggest we take an advantage of it quickly, though. There's going to be trouble. Trouble? What trouble? Torque doesn't trust you. Callahan forbade me from meeting Torque, or Callahan's goons threatened Torque. Callahan's goon threatened Torque. During my meeting with Torque, same guy who beat me yesterday, Vince, showed up. He's Callahan's goons. We have to assume he knows that I met Torque. Well, that just means we have to bring the plan to a close. And thank you. Thanks to your good timing, we're just a day away from that. Well, let's hear it. What did Torque agree to? You relayed the Anarch leader's conditions. You are to pick him up and me up. The meeting would only include the four of you, and it should be held in a public place. Those are all fair enough, although I do worry about the Mia character. Tell me, do you think she's trustworthy? I'd go with the first one. Torque trusts her. Well, Torque trusts her, so we can too, I think. Very well. As for the place, I wonder if they would agree to meet in Hudson Yards, the vessel. Plenty of tourists visit that place, but if we go there after midnight, she seems to have made up her mind. Yes, bring them there tomorrow night. Look for me near the top level. Tomorrow? So soon? Will they agree with the meeting in the city, or what will you discuss with them? Tomorrow too soon? No, we want it to happen fast. What will you discuss with him would be my question. What's so important that you can't just send him a letter or something? You'll be there to find out. Pick them up at midnight, then drive back to Midtown. That's the plan. I'll be waiting as long as it takes, within reason. I'm counting on you, Jack. The final puzzle piece is about to find its way to its destination. After that, we will all get our just reward. You, me, the Camarilla, even the Anarchs. I could kiss you. Yes, you'd like that. You desire it. Fuck no, I don't want that. She must have caught it in your expression. She smiles. A figure of speech, darling, or at least it is tonight. But a few nights from now, who knows? I'm growing fond of you, and success will whet my appetite for these kinds of things. Keep it in your pants, woman. I don't want it. The sexual tension in the room becomes unbearable until it suddenly disappears. Was this another one of Sophie's tricks, or an actual spark of arousal in both of your undead bodies? I mean, girl, if you have to use your powers to get dick, you should hide. You should hide. You certainly felt the blood flow through you for a short moment. The warmth in your groin takes you by surprise. You didn't think you could do that anymore, or did you just imagine it? Gigi's like, sexual tension. And Honey Lily drops the mic. Boom! Use the rest of this night well, Jack, and rest. We're but a day's sleep away from shaking the city awake. Okay, so there's one storyline that I really am hoping to finish, and it's my favorite one, because as we progress in here, we don't know if this might be the final chapter, which I'm assuming it's definitely leading to that. And if I know one thing, I'm pretty sure we can't finish all of these, or if we can, or can't, I'd rather finish Hope first. So let's go for Hope. Hope's poorly scribbled message reaches you in your haven. Within an unmarked envelope, you find a barely legible address you're supposed to reach and the hour you're expected to arrive there. This is it, then the night of the final showdown. You check the clock, there's way more than enough time to comfortably reach your destination, but you decide to take a drive earlier just in case. The ride is uneventful, but becomes more and more tense as it goes on. The gravity of the situation starts getting to you. You're about to sit out on an operation against a key New York City figure, well connected with both human and vampire life. What if her security overwhelms you? How will the council react to your raid? The Wire taught me to always be early. You can only trust that Hope has thought it all through. She doesn't seem like the type you'd attempt a suicidal mission. Which isn't something you typically say about a person who regularly inflicts violence on herself in front of the camera. When you arrive at your destination, you find yourself in front of a building with a double spiral logo on it. This must be Montgomery's headquarters then. You look around the street and notice an obnoxiously lavender Mazda car parked nearby. Even though you've never seen it before, you might have an idea of who it belongs to. Of course, it's lavender. Duh. You park in your car at a distance from the double spiral building and approach the Mazda. A familiar figure is behind the wheel, holding a smartphone in her hand. You knock on the window. She opens the window without turning her eyes from the device. Romance apocalypse. Wow, you're early. Shouldn't you be hiding? What are you writing? Or good evening? I'll just say good evening. Yes, good evening for a glorious death. She lets a dead silence linger in the air for 10 seconds. Then she stops typing, diverts her eyes from the screen, gives you a melancholic stare, and winks. Psych! God damn it. Come on, what's with that face? I suffer from too much FOMO to let myself die. I've got accounts to run, notifications to check. Plus, no in hell I'd allow Montgomery the satisfaction of a draw. We're going there to secure a flawless victory. Oh, flawless victory. No time to wait. Let's go. She gets out of the car and motions you to walk with her. Anywho, glad you managed to make sense of my ugly scribbles. I totally forgot how exhausting it is to write stuff by hand. Still not as exhausting as having to deliver message personally to someone's door. Next time you meet Langley, ask her to get you a flip phone or something, okay? Have a good lurk. You reach the front of the building. We're about to burn this shithole down to the ground. What's the plan? Shouldn't we be keeping a low profile or with Kara inside? I just go straight to the point. What's the plan? Hope, I wouldn't mind if you let me in on your plan this time. Oh, Jack, baby. One would think that by now. You know I'm a need-to-know basis kind of gal. But luckily, there's not much of a plan to talk about. You've done all the hard work during your meeting with Kara. You see, our job is easy. We need to get in, destroy the server containing all the double spiral research, and walk out. No spectacle, no dramatic showdowns. Now, I know exactly what you're going to say. But wait, Hope, this data is so priceless, shouldn't she have external backups? Is Kara a complete dunce? Excellent question, my neonate friend. The answer is yes, she's a dunce. But aside from her numerous negative qualities, she also has a positive one. She's totally paranoid. She used to be naive, dumbass, who wouldn't even cover up her laptop camera. But she's lost trust in all external companies after a little cyber espionage incident. She's obsessed with not uploading her precious data anywhere online. Now, she only has one physical backup, hidden deeper inside the headquarters. Nobody has an idea of where it might be, but I do. Normally, I'd never be able to reach the place. Double Spiral is like an underground base. The walls and doors are reinforced both against the living and the dead. But the answer to this problem is simple. We only need Kara to lend us her voice so that we can override all the security measures and get to the heart of the facility. What do you say, Kara? Will you help your girl out for some old time's sakes? Hope quickly writes something down on her phone. A few seconds later, a nearly perfect imitation of Kara Montgomery's voice escapes her speaker. You know it. Let's put this bitch open. Wow, the sound quality is incredible, and the voice sounds only the tiniest bit off. Whatever she paid for that check, it was worth it. It was worth it. Oh, and if you're afraid of consequences from the Camarilla, don't be. I'm assuming full responsibility and my ass is covered. I've got some favors to collect and to offer. Besides, Kara's a goddamn snake and everybody knows it. No important player will miss her influence. They were only tolerating her in case she hit it big with her tech. It's all about cash in abundance. Life's a bitch. And then you die. Some parts sound a tiny bit too robotic. Could there be a pattern here? Too bad she won't ever get the chance to succeed. So without further ado, shall we? Hope starts marching towards the revolving door. You close your eyes, make an effort to sharpen your senses, and follow the Malkavian into the lobby of the double spiral building. There's a sole security guard at the entrance. He raises his voice to ask about your business, but is stopped short by Hope's commanding voice. No need. We're expected. The man looks at lost and disorientated for a moment. Then the gears in his head slowly begin to turn, and he nods his head, silently opening a gate leading to the elevators. Hope heads into one of them, and you follow. She presses a button, and the car starts heading to the lower floor. Eventually, the door opens. Welcome to Kara Montgomery's Deadly Dungeon, Jack. What appears before your eyes are the dimly lit corridors of an IT office, empty and silent. The air is stiff and dusty, and there's a sharp, rotten stench in the air that you're unable to identify. The menacing atmosphere makes it hard to recognize at first, but this looks like an active workplace. It really is a dungeon, although a corporate one, where people are cheated of life. You feel a pang of anger. This is the real face of class warfare. These are the conditions people in power would offer us if they didn't feel a need to keep up appearances. Let's just get to the first door and test my little Kara out. You follow her until you reach the end of the corridor. There you encounter an expensive-looking reinforced door with voice control on the side. Hope pushes a button. A robotic voice comes out of the speaker. Semiotics. Seriously? Come on. Hope types in the word into her phone and lets virtual Kara repeat the password. Semiotics. A sound rings out reminiscent of cues that TV quiz shows used to let contestants know you have the wrong answer. Verification error. Please try again. You give Hope a nervous look. She bites her lip and presses the button again. Hyperreal. Tap, 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 tap. Hyperreal. Access granted. The doors slowly open. You notice your companion is wearing your sour expression. Looks like the tech isn't quite perfect. At least, the passwords seem randomized, so we can try and brute force our way in. Unless the system locks us out after a few failed attempts. She shakes her head and turns to you, her lips attempting to approximate a sincere smile. Well, we can hope that the data you've collected is enough. Into the beast's maw we go. She marches into the room and you walk in right after her. The door locks behind you, a loud thud. It's a wide open office. It would be as murky as the corridor you just left if it wasn't for rows of monitors illuminating the space. A shadowy figure stares at every screen in the room. Kara's voice plays Hope's speaker. Behold, this is where the magic happens. A family of driven folks hungry for success, always taking the bull by the horns, building a high-performance culture together. None of the figure raises their heads. They're too busy programming, organizing spreadsheets, and typing an endless string of text. Are you all deaf? Shh. Or what's wrong with them? What's wrong with these guys? Don't worry, they're likely just a bunch of ghouls and whatnots, hardworking, conditioned, tireless, low maintenance, kinda dumb, perfect workers. Probably won't leave their seats unless we make them, but let's not. We've got more important things to do, like destroying a few years' worth of their work. The figures don't stop pounding away from the keyboard. In fact, they don't react to the words at all. Alrighty, so do we go straight to the server room, or do you want to check one of the side rooms first? Your call. I'd prefer to wrap things up here as fast as possible, but hey, little Kara is here with us thanks to the data you've gathered. You betcha. If you think you can use her voice for something useful, feel free to do it. You look around and think how to respond. Let's just move, or this door looks curious. I just say let's move. No, this is your show. Let's just get out of here as fast as we can. I hear you, this way. You follow Hope out of the room. Another depressing corridor reeking of who knows what. You expect Hope to walk to the very end again, but this time she stops halfway and starts mumbling under her breath. Wait, was it this door, or don't tell me she moved things around? It looks like she's been here before. Not a surprise in itself, but she gives off an impression of a person who used to know the entire layout of the building very well. After brief reflection, Hope approaches a door a few feet away and pushes the button next to it. Apocalypse. Well, that's cheery. Apocalypse. Access granted. You walk inside. At first glance, this office looks very similar to rows of listless silhouettes in front of them. However, Hope quickly spots a difference. Target confirmed. Moving to data room. There's a room with endless machines at the back of the open space. Hope walks in, takes out some hardware out of a bag she's carrying, and begins to process and removing the data. Should have invested in SSDs, sis. Time to bust out my portable degausser. She turns to you. This will take a good minute. I've got a few other tricks up my sleeves. If you find something that interests you, let me know. Should you wait near her or take a look around? I'll stay put. I'd rather stay here. Who knows what might happen? Viruses, degosses, hard drives, some plain old boring vandalism. I hope you don't expect anything breathtaking to happen here. You don't, and it doesn't. You spend most of the following 30 minutes gazing at the dead-eyed ghoul and at the screen next to you. When Hope is nearly done with her digital mischief, an error message appears on the ghoul's screen. He tries to fight it for a while, but it's futile. So he just slumps down, resigned. A while passes. Finally, you hear a triumphant yell. All done, baby! Looks like those boys are finally going to get a break. You realize that the constant silent rhythm of mechanical keyboards has stopped. The workers are in idling, slumped over their desks, completely resigned to the fact their raison d'être has disappeared. Hope hurriedly collects her hardware and motions you to follow after her. All right, we're almost done. Now we just need to take care of the backups and we can get the hell away from here. You take a last glance at the ghouls and follow her steps. Yet another corridor hardly discernible from the previous one. This is a giant underground complex. How much money has Montgomery spent on it? Hope looks around, frowning, mumbling, something indecipherable. Eventually, she points in front of her. There, this is where she must keep the backups. It's a sturdy metal door, unlike any other in this building. Right next to it, however, is a voice-based security system you know pretty well by now. Please, 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 just no last-second surprises. She hesitates to do it, but eventually she pushes the button. Oh shit, we're fucked. Eternal return. Hope dutifully types down the term on her phone. Fuck. Eternal return. Access denied. Please try again. Hope hisses under her breath. This time you push the button. Double spiral. We're safe. Tap, tap, tap. Double spiral. Oh, fuck. You feel like time is frozen. For whatever reason, it takes longer than usual for the speaker to deliver the verdict. Access granted. What a relief. The metal door grinds loudly as they invite you in. This time, you walk in first and Hope follows. Wait a minute. You recognize this place. I fucking knew it. I knew it. I shouldn't be here, but there's no two ways about it. This is Hope's Haven. Same bed, same decorations, same ambiance. It's all a lot more dusty, but the backups are in the back. I'll just get them. She seems a little sheepish as she approaches the double spiral device and unpacks her own hardware to take care of them. You take in your surroundings. Care to explain? So it's like that, huh? Or just keep quiet? I'll just keep quiet. Hope keeps quiet as well, working diligently on destroying her rival's life. She makes it obvious she doesn't want to re-examine her path. You rest against the bed, quietly watching Hope's technological wizardry and wondering about her past relationship with Kara for who knows how long. Every second you spend here, you become more impatient to get out. Eventually, the devices surrounding the double spiral backups start disappearing in the bag they were taken out of. Looks like the process is nearly completed. You decide to approach the door before it does. However, before you even make a move, the door begins to make a grinding noise. You freeze up, watching them open. Behind them stands the very person you were afraid would appear. That's the punk t-shirt you hoped you would avoid seeing tonight. Jesus fucking Christ almighty. Hope raises her head and their eyes meet. Both of their faces momentarily turn to stone. Oh. You could pick out any emotion from their stares and you'd probably be right. An unbearable tension fills the room as nobody wants to make the first move. Eventually, it's Hope who decides to break this stalemate by loudly pressing the enter button on her laptop and immediately dropping it into her bag. You doubt it's anything more than a provocation, the Malkavian letting her opponent know she won, but it works. The noise makes Montgomery snap out of her stupor. You psycho, you fucking demented, vindictive psycho. The air turns tight with murderous intent. Hi. Hope pretends she hadn't noticed. Kara's bloodthirst becomes palpable. You were supposed to be on the other side of the city right now, at the meeting. I am notified about every failed voice authentication attempt. I got back here expecting to find some idiot still trying to make their way through the front. She looks around. But I never expected. Just how? Hope reluctantly types something down her phone. I'm the CEO of Double Spiral and I endorse wrecking my shit. Kara grimaces at the sound of her own voice and quickly connects the dots. You fucking gremlin. How did you get your hand on that kind of tech? Even I... Company secrets. Hope's provoking her. No two-way about it. Kara knows it, so she's trying to keep it cool. I built this paradise for you, for us. For yourself and nobody else. What happened to the Hope I used to know? She can't come to the phone right now. She's dead. I regret the day I let you into my life. Stop lying to yourself, Kara. You only regret the day you let me out of your life. I shouldn't have let you mask slip, honey. A snappish response almost escaped Kara's mouth, but she manages to stop herself before letting the discussion devolve into childish spat. Just tell me there's a copy of my data you haven't ruined and I'll let you out of here alive. She gives you a hateful look. Both of you. Hope tilts her head and flashes an evil ear-to-ear grin. Not a single bit of data remains. More than a decade of your work down the drain. Welcome to the worst night of your life since the .com crash, Miss Montgomery. Kara looks as if a stake was just driven through her heart. She starts to collapse, sliding down against the door, like she was sinking deeper and deeper into her own personal hell. Hope just stares at her torment, wearing an indecipherable expression, waiting for her rival to reach the floor. Then she does, and there at the lowest point of her life, she finds something unexpected. I never ever wanted to do this. This is not me. Her voice sounds completely different. But if there's only one way out of this mess, I'm going to take it. I'm going to get my data back. Hope's confused for a second. Then an understanding dawns on her. Come on, Kamara. You wouldn't dare. You started this game. Now accept your loss. The game isn't over until all players are out of moves, honey. Baring your fangs now. There are two of us against one. Even if you commit the sin of diablerie. Diablerie is the consumption of another kindred's blood to the point of the victim's final death. Vampires may not only lower their generation permanently through this aberrant practice, but also incorporate the target's very nature and spirit into themselves. So I guess it's kind of like seeing what they're thinking. Last time something like this happened to me, I was ready to die. I think I'll take my chances. It's not like I haven't dreamed about feeling my fangs inside you for a long, long time. So you want to give me this one victory? Prove once and for all that I was right? It was never about me, but about all the stupid garbage in my head. A victory? Please. Victories are material. They aren't like your little online arguments. She's serious about this, Jack. She wants to devour me as a whole, sacrifice her humanity in exchange for access to my soul and everything I know. Stay away, Jack. You want money, data, domain privileges, a position at Double Spiral. Anything you want, you can get it. You just look the other way. Don't listen to this shit. The moment the prince finds out, it's final death for... And Kara runs, her moves resembling a beast more than a human, immediately closing the distance to Hope. Then she jumps at the Malkavian like a wild animal hunting her prey. Hope instinctively attempts to defend herself, but is immediately overwhelmed. Laying on the ground, she looks like a deer in the headlights. Kara, on the other hand, looks like a bear ready to maul his victim. If you want to react, you need to do it now. I'm definitely not calmly looking around. Separate them as quickly as possible. You push yourself to the limit and let your powers take over. The world slows down, letting you run up to Kara and Hope in a blink of an eye. You immediately grab Montgomery by her clothes and attempt to yank her aside. However, the moment she recognizes your touch, she immediately attempts to swat you down. Despite your superhuman speed, she's still almost as quick as you. Her limbs keep zooming wildly towards your vital areas. You dodge every one of them, but each time feels like narrowly jumping out of the way of an oncoming truck. You back away. Better try something different before she gets lucky and hits you. Let your instincts take over or calmly look around. Let your instincts take over. You've decided to let your instincts take over. Before you know it, you're already at a full sprint. You run up to Kara, grab her, and start pulling her away from Hope. However, you're dealing with a beast here. Choosing to trust your instincts, you underestimated her. Before you realize what happened, you find yourself smashed against the nearest wall. Confused and in pain, your chest, your torso, some bones feel broken. You still got lucky and should be able to move around, but this will take some time to heal. Kara's already focused on attacking Hope again. Just rushing in blindly won't help you. You need a plan. Wait. There's no point to just rushing in blindly. Kara's like a feral animal, right? You don't wrestle with those. You use tools to overwhelm them. You look at Hope's bag. Could any of her devices help? No way in hell. Think harder. You look at the bed, the pillows, the canopy, hooks hanging from the ceiling. Bingo. You grab one of the hooks and yank the chain. It's long enough for your idea to work. You run up to Kara, who's about to maul Hope like a wild animal. Then you stab her with all your strength. The hook gets deep underneath her skin. Kara yells, but there is more surprise than pain in her voice. You quickly wrap the chain around her a few times, then you step back and start pulling it with all your strength. Kara's taken by surprise, still not understanding what's going on. She loses her balance and gives her victim a chance to escape. Hope takes it. Still dazed, she takes a second to understand the situation, but when she does, she runs up to you and starts pulling the chain with you. Arrgh! He never handled her alone, but hoped to display surprising strength with pulling the chain. A minute later, she's hanging above the floor like a butcher carcass. The end of the hook is stuck in her chest and it's sinking deeper as she struggles. However, she's failing so widely she might free herself before it's puts her out of commission. Arrgh! You use your hand to desperately search for something that can help you under the bed. Belts, handcuffs, a whip, a giant cattle prod. You have no time to act bemusedly. You put it to her head and turn it on. Arrgh! The device must be modified. The power current is so powerful it causes scarring almost immediately. She's getting weaker and weaker. Okay, blah. Yeah, violin. I don't care if she's being tortured. She deserves it. It takes Kara a while to accept defeat, but eventually she does. Her body seemingly lifeless and her head hanging down, she looks like a grotesque portrait of defeat. The hook must have reached her heart. It takes Hope a long time to collect herself. Eventually she manages to speak up. Guess we've gotten up to this point, huh? Just like Kara before, Hope starts to talk in a completely different way than she usually does. You have a bad feeling about this. You want to add my data to yours? You know I can grant you your wish, except not the way you've imagined it. Hope starts mumbling and circling around Kara. For the first time since you've met her, she acts like she doesn't have her phone in her hand. There's violent aura. The Malkavian looks deeply into your eyes, and she knows you know what she's tempted to do. You silently beg for her not to do it. It doesn't feel right. She puts on a devilish smirk and starts walking towards Kara, looking like a zombie. She starts mumbling under her breath, and you can see her fangs when she speaks. Liberate yourself from the shackles of ordinary morality. Make them scream. Feel their warmth. She stops in front of Kara and turns to you with a melancholic spark in her eyes, as if ready to say goodbye. Then she utters one word. Psych. Her slouch posture immediately straightens out of as her fingers start dancing on the phone screen again. She sent you a wink. Got your ass. You shake your head and sigh, but it's a sign of relief. Don't worry, I'm not about to give in to temptation here. I remember our previous arrangement. You helped me out, and now it's time for me to return the favor. Hope tilts her head and looks at Kara. I'll call in some favors and take care of her. She was about to commit diablerie, and I know some other people who'd love to see her hang for it. I agree. I really love her. Not that she needs any help with that now. A puppet is dangling sadly by a single thread. By the way, I've disabled security, so you're free to leave whenever you want. And call me whenever you want. I'm a part of your gang now. Semper Fi, and all that. I'll stay here and take care of some unfinished business. And hey, we've done a great job. You start heading towards the exit and give her a thumb up before you leave. She laughs a little, already back to her usual self. Right back to you. See you around, Normie. See you around, Hope. Your coterie just became more unique than you ever thought it could be. The hunger calls to you. You find yourself among the tall building and sprawling streets of New York City and can't help but think of how rotten it all is. And the worst thing, you're part of the system. Suddenly, Sophie's patronage is revealed, and you see it for what it is, indentured servitude. She has control over your life now, and there is no good reason for it. The people you pass on the street look so smug. They think they're better than you. They are out to use you, exploit you, hurt you. You feel the need to assault anything with a pulse and drink deep from their lifeblood. You compose yourself. Your rational mind fearing a blatant breach of the masquerade's temporarily hold over the beast and its compulsion. It won't last unless you feed. You need to quench this hunger before it overtakes you and makes you lose control. Okay, so that was pretty interesting today. I think we've progressed like a lot. I was expecting maybe to progress a little more, but the storylines were a lot more advanced than I would have thought. So from what I can tell, we are possibly done Hope's storyline. I'm guessing that by the trophy that I got that popped up. So I'm pretty sure that we're done with her storyline. I'm very interested in finding out what's next. However, I've been streaming for about 2 hours and a half now, so I will get off for the day. I do have to continue my phase 2 project. However, I'm capable of, because let's just say that my movements are a little, well, they're practically non-existent with this sore back, but I'll figure it out. Anyways, that being said, I really appreciate everyone that came by today. I was really happy that you guys were with me. Shout out to Lord G6 and Geeky sur Linux. Check them out. They are amazing streamers. You absolutely need to check them out. And also, I wanted to also shout out at someone that has visited me earlier. So Reckless Blue. Please check him out as well. Reckless Blue is a new discovery of mine. He's super sweet and he is very interesting to watch as well. So I just wanted to say hey to him, shout out to him, shout out to you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this stream. Next Saturday we are going to start Subnautica Below Zero. Yes! And Sunday we're going to continue part 8, I believe, of Vampire the Masquerade. Now, let's see if we can raid someone. I don't see any of my people online. Do you guys have any suggestions? Lord G6 or maybe Geeky? Let me know if you guys have any suggestions, because I don't really know anyone that we could go and raid right now. Oh yeah, it's true, eh? He went in lurking mode. We're only 3, so I'm not sure we're going to raid. I think I'm just going to end it here. I don't see anyone else online. If I had anyone online, I would definitely raid, but I don't really see anyone that I know that I could refer you guys to, so I think I'm just going to get off today. Nobody on your side either, eh? Yeah, it's Sunday. I think people are kind of busy doing other stuff, which is all good. All good, 100%. Sunday morning seems to be rough for everyone. Yeah, except for me apparently, who starts streaming. Oh, just by the way, I'm really contemplating on changing my stream hours to 10 o'clock Saturdays and Sundays. I think it's just better for me maybe in the summer, but it might vary from one week to the other, so I'll keep you guys posted with that. But yeah, so I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much, and I hope you guys have a beautiful Sunday afternoon. See you guys later. Bye.